In a 1966 experiment, people watched an innocent woman get shocked for no reason and then rated her as less likable, just for suffering in front of them. There's a response most people have when they hear about someone else's misfortune. Before the empathy arrives, sometimes before the compassion even has a chance to form, something else happens, a reaching for explanation. They must have been careless. They must have made bad decisions. They must have done something to put themselves in that situation. This isn't always conscious. It doesn't always feel like judgment. Sometimes it's framed as advice. They should have been more careful. Sometimes it masquerades as common sense. These things don't happen to people who take care of themselves. What it is, psychologically, is a defense mechanism, and it comes at a significant cost to the people on the receiving end of it. The just world hypothesis was proposed by social psychologist Melvin Lerner in the 1960s. The theory: people have a fundamental need to believe that the world is a fair and ordered place, that good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people. This belief is psychologically protective because it implies that you, if you are a good person who makes good decisions, are safe. The problem arises when confronted with evidence that the world is not just. Someone good is harmed randomly. Someone innocent suffers without cause. This is a direct threat to the just world belief. And when the belief is threatened, the brain has a choice: update the belief, the world is not reliably just, or reinterpret the event, the victim must have deserved it. Most brains choose the second option. It's cognitively cheaper and emotionally safer. In 1966, Lerner and Simmons ran an experiment that remains one of the most unsettling in social psychology. Participants watched a woman, an actor, appear to receive electric shocks when she gave wrong answers in a learning task. The shocks were fake. Participants had no control over what happened to her. After watching her suffer, participants were asked to rate her character and attractiveness. The result: the more the participants observed her suffering, and the more helpless they were to stop it, the more negatively they rated her character. She was rated as less likable, less attractive, and more blameworthy than an identical person in a no-suffering control condition. Watching someone suffer without being able to help produced not empathy and distress, but active negative reevaluation of the person. The brain restored its just world belief by finding a reason the suffering was deserved. The just world hypothesis underlies some of the most damaging social responses to suffering. Victim blaming an assault: why were they out alone? Why were they dressed that way? Why did they drink? Is the just world hypothesis operating at scale. The discomfort of a random, unjust event is resolved by finding something the victim did wrong. This both falsely reassures the bystander, "I would never do that, so I'm safe," and compounds the harm to the person who suffered. In poverty, they could work harder, they made bad choices, they didn't value education. In illness, they should have exercised, eaten better, managed stress. In accidents, they should have been more careful. Each of these responses may contain grains of situational truth, and each of them is also partly a just world defense. Lerner found that the belief is strongest when observers feel unable to help, and when the suffering continues without resolution. The longer someone suffers without apparent cause, the more the just world brain needs to assign blame, because an extended injustice is a more serious threat to the belief than a momentary one. The first and most important step is recognizing the just world hypothesis in your own instinctive responses. When you hear about someone's misfortune and your immediate thought reaches for what they did wrong, that's the mechanism operating. It doesn't make you a bad person, but it does make you less accurate and less useful to the person who is suffering. The corrective is to sit with the discomfort of an unjust outcome rather than resolving it through victim blame. Not everything has a reason. Not everything was earned. The world is not reliably just, and accepting that, while genuinely difficult, is more honest and ultimately more compassionate. For observers of suffering, the question that breaks the just world reflex is, what would this person need right now? rather than what did they do to cause this. Shifting to a helping orientation counteracts the blame orientation. The just world hypothesis is your brain trying to protect you from the most threatening truth in human experience: that suffering can be random, that it can happen to people who did nothing wrong, that being good and careful does not guarantee safety. Accepting that truth is terrifying, but the alternative, building your safety on the belief that the people who suffer deserved it, comes at a cost to your honesty and your compassion that you may not fully see until you're the one asking for understanding. Drop a comment. Have you ever caught yourself reaching for a blame explanation when someone suffered, and then noticed what you were doing? I want to know. Subscribe. New psychology breakdown every week.